me start from pivot table. We have a lot of things lined up today, but due to time, I hope we'll be able to achieve a lot. If not, we will take the most important ones and then shift the rest to other weeks, because we are going to be doing this every Saturday. So in front of you there, I don't know if you can see this, is an Excel sheet. Now this Excel sheet comes in rows and columns. At the top row here, that's the header row. The header row, we have regions, week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. This represents sales for each week. So the sales for week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4. That's what it means. Now, for you to... Okay, someone is saying nothing is showing on the screen. Please, can you confirm? If you are seeing something on the screen, please say yes, yes, yes. If not, I'll have to share it again. So please, my friend, you need to check your end again. If you are not seeing it, you need to check your end, because every other person is seeing except you. What I was expecting to see is a request for us to enlarge it, and I think I'll have to do that now. I have an last screen here that will help me see what how you are seeing it there. Okay, good. So now we have regions. Region 1, not under the region we have northeast, north central, northwest, south, southeast, southwest. Now, then we have sales for week 1, week 2, week 3. Now remember that this could go beyond this category. For instance, we can go micro and saying that each of the regions might have other subcategories, but we are just limiting it to this for simplicity's sake. So, for example, if you have a department, that have, like in some companies, you have HR and admin department under one. So when you pick HR and admin department, you then have two subcategories. Under the HR, you might also have recruitment, salaries, and things like that. So and training, salaries and training. That could be sub departments under the HR. So let me start by telling you a little. Somebody saying my voice is not audible. I tested it here. Pivot table makes life very easy for everybody. Now, why is it so? For a large, like most of us that are going to audit, you have a large volume of data that you need to analyze. Can you hear me now? I just adjusted my volume side. I don't know if you can hear me now. Please say yes if you can hear me. If you can hear me now, say yes, because I just had to adjust it because someone said you cannot hear me. Yes, somebody saying, yeah, people can hear me, so I don't know why. So please check your end. Check your end if you cannot hear me, because this is very important.
Very clear, yeah, very clear.
Perfect. So that's good. That's good. So now, this is what we have on the screen: regions and so pivot table. What is it used for? It's used for complex analysis, very complex one. So, and if you have large data, it could run into millions of information, millions of records. I told you that in the early class, I told you that a row represents a record. A row like this represents a record. So you could have millions of it, and you just have less than 5 minutes or 10 minutes to analyze the information you have there and present it in the form that management will love to see the results. So, for example, they want to ask you how much sales did Northeast make in the first week. How much sales did Northwest make in week 3? How much sales did South make in week 4? And assuming that this information you have up there is just for a month. Okay. Now, each of these names, if you see this Northeast, Northwest, they are repeated because they represent the sales here represent each individual sales. So by the side here, we're supposed to have the names of the individuals, the various individuals. So for example, Northeast, you might have a maker, Tuboso, whatever name, Northeast. They are all sales staff of Northeast, but we are not showing their names now. Instead, we are representing them by their region, Northeast. So they made so many sales. Northeast made so many sales in week 1. Southwest made so many sales in week 2, and Southeast made so many sales in week 3. So if you are faced with this kind of information, remember, like I said, pivot table is one of the simplest way to do it, and it's just a matter of click. So we'll start by first put the cursor on A3, A1. A1 is the region. Now, for you to use pivot table, you must make sure that all the header rows they are truly identified. For example, I cannot, if I do not have this week 1 written here, I will not be able to use it like this. If it's like this, I will not be able to use it. So we need to make sure that they all have headers. After make sure that they have headers, then you look at the information to the base. So this is the base. There's no summary. There's no addition at the base. You can see. So I go to Control Home. Will take me back to the top. Now, I have seen my information. No summary, no addition anywhere. So I want to. The management said they want to see summary. They want to see summary by region. So I go to Insert. First step, go to Insert. Under Insert tab. This is pivot table here at the top. Pivot table. Pivot table here. Now, if you look at the next item there, you will see this in the modern Excel recommended pivot tables. It will give you, if you touch it, it will give you some recommendation, some recommended pivot table, which will make sure, which might be of interest to you. Then the next item is table, but we are using pivot table. Let's use the pivot table so that we understand it easy. Once you click the pivot table, this window will open up. The window you are seeing in front of me now has some little things that make life easy too for everyone. So you have select a table range. Now look closely at my screen. You will see that because I clicked that pivot table, this region where the information is, which is up to row 537. There's this dancing sand around that region, which means that Excel have already selected the region where the information is covered. Now, if it was not selected, you can select it using this window here. Now, look closely here. You see A1 to $A1, no, $A, $1 to $E, $537, which is the range from the first cell here on the left-hand side to the last cell on the right-hand side. Now, if you look at the base too. Go further. You see, choose where you want the pivot table to report to be placed. Now you have an option of presenting a pivot table on this sheet, this same sheet, or that's using this option, or on a new sheet. On a new sheet. So if we want it to appear on this sheet, on the same sheet where you have the information, I'll simply click existing sheet. But if I want it on a new sheet, I'll click new working sheet. Then next I say OK. I'll have to click OK. Now a new sheet will appear. This new sheet that appears comes with some filters on the right hand side. Let me enlarge it so that you can see. So this is a filter. It comes with the filters. This is the filter on the left hand side, on the right hand side. So what we do with this filter, let me see. Yeah, what we do with this filter will guide us as to how we respond to the management question. So management question 1 is give us the total sales for region by region. That's the first question. Next one, we want to see the graph. We want to see the graph. Okay, so the regions, we then have, let's pick this one, region. Now look closely at what happened. What I did was I checked this box. But another school of thought will say simply pick this box instead of checking it. Just pick it to the row. You just drag and drop. Drag and drop. Now, by the time you drag and drop, look at the left-hand side. You see that something is already happening. Please, if you've not written the attendance form, fill it out, because I'll be sending out the how do you call it now? The material immediately after the session. I wish I can even send it out now, so that as we are doing it, you'll be doing it as well from there. I tried to send it through the shared through the chat window, but did not go.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello. Sorry, I don't understand what is attendance sheet.
Attendance sheet. Okay.
Yes.
There's a link I shared. Let me see if I can pick it again. Now, if you click this link I just shared now using the chat window, use that URL, it will take you to a form. That form, if you fill it, it will come up on. It will give us your details, like your email address, where we can send the form to, send this working sheet to. Good. So if you look at my screen right now, you'll see that on my left-hand side, I already have northwest, northeast, north central, northeast, northwest, south, southeast, south, and the rest. See them under this side, but you don't have any value right now. So for you to have value, you pick the values again. You pick this. Look at from the filter pivot table fields, I pick them one after the other. You can either filter or you can pick. So let me pick. I pick this and I drop it under the value. This is the filter. The filter you have, there are 4 here in number. Okay. I'm using row and value because I want to be seeing the values appear. The management want to see value. So I want to show them value without stress. We are not doing anything extra. Just pick and drop. Pick and drop. If you notice, you can just pick and drop anywhere you want. See? As you're picking and dropping, they'll be arranging themselves. The results is already coming up on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side. So I want to move this one down. Move it down. Okay. So, but that's not how I want it. I want it to move. I want to move that fourth quarter, good. If you want to take it off, you can also uncheck this box. So let me see. Okay. Good. So you see, these are the 4 weeks. The total sales for each of the week is already at the base. It's already at the base. Now, this information is not properly formatted. It's not properly formatted. Now, I want to tell this is a point where I have to give you some hints. Sometimes you have your information like this displayed in this form, but instead of having the values come up, you have the number, more like it's summing up the information instead of it's counting the information instead of summing up the numbers. So what you need to do when such happens is that you need to quickly right click, you touch the cell, you touch like a cell like this on the row, on the column. You right click, then you go to summarize value by. Summarize value by. What I mean is sometimes the information might come in this format, Instead of adding up, our goal initially, our goal is to sum up the sales in value. So, but sometimes when you do the initial time you do your pivot table, it will count the numbers instead of giving you instead of summing it up. So you need to right click, come to this summarize value by. Then you check what you want to achieve. Is it that you want to sum up? Is it that you want to count, or you want to do the average? Now we want to sum. That's why I'm choosing this option. So now look at this. This information is already there. If you sum it, if you use your calculator, you find out the same answer that you get. But for it to look nicer, you need to format. You format cell, number. You can even do currency if you want. If you want to do currency, Naira, you look for Naira somewhere here. Naira, let me see. Naira, where are you? Naira. Naira is two types of Naira that you can pick. NG. I want to put Naira there. See, NG and this is Naira, but there's another type of Naira too. The one that comes with our currency. Let me see if it's there. Good. You have this Naira, Hausa, Igbo, Fulani, any of them. I'm picking your. Let me pick Ibibio Naira. Okay. So this is it. It comes in naira like this. You can even reduce the decimal places if you want to. Take off the decimal to make it, if this is too busy, if this appears too busy for you, you can also change the, make it 10 decimal. So you see, this is the information. Now, another level, another area you can, that you can work on is to add total. Let's say total, and this total, what you want to do is you want to sum up everything here. So total sales will be sorry, it's my keyboard messing. Okay, SUM, sum from there to there, then you move it down. Remember, the pivot table is on this other sheet, so you can refresh all. We want to get, let's go this way. Okay, we've done this, so we call this regional. So you can quickly change it onto regional sales. Leave that. Then you come this way. You want to add another pivot table. Again, you set insert. This time around, I want to do total. You see, I assume that we're already on track, so we know the other, how to handle the other part. So, okay. Somebody's asking question. Let me see. So region again. Total sales. Okay, somebody said the link is not opening. Another one said I need to recap. Another one said I should send the information in advance. Okay, let me see that. Okay. The form is opening here. This form should open even if you are using your mobile phone. It should open even if you are using your mobile phone. The reason is this form could not go through the chat, but I'll still try it again. If it can go through the chat window, you'll get it instantly. I'll try it again. So can you see this window? I expect that you should be able to see this one. I don't know. I'm trying to understand what is happening. Please, I want to recap again. I want to recap so that it will be easy. For those who did not follow me, so I'll do it. Okay, even if you've lost, don't worry. I'll get everything. I'll get you back to speed. Now we started from this sheet. Okay, We started from this sheet. So, and this sheet, if done professionally, should come in a color. Let's say a blue color, or this way, which you can change any way you want. Is it when you are not coming on time, you'll be missing out, and it's not easy to recap everything I've said. So I will only say you watch the video online. Okay. So step one, make sure that all your columns have headers. They come with header. So for example, immediately after region, I have here week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then total. If any of these columns don't have a header, what we are doing will not work, or will not work smoothly. So we need to make sure we put a header. Then I go to the left-hand side, the first cell on the left-hand side, which is A1. I put the cursor there. I put the cursor on A1. Then under the Insert tab, I locate pivot table. Pivot table is on the extreme left on the screen. Inside the first option under the Insert tab, pivot table. Now this is it. Pivot table. I said to you that immediately after pivot table, you have recommended pivot table. If you click this, it will give you different types of, which is something like this. It will suggest, these are other suggestions, suggested pivot tables that we have here. Can you see? So it's telling you, for example, that you can, using the suggested pivot table, say summary. This is summary, the monthly summary. Here you have summary by week 4, region by region, average total of region by region, total sum of total by region. Can you see? So suggested pivot table will give you an idea. You might not have this in an older version of Excel. So, but you have this in at least 2019. We are working with 2019 Excel. Now, so, but before you start going to advanced, use the crude one, or the one that will allow you to understand it properly, which is this one here. Now, when you click that, after making sure that your cursor is at the first cell on the left-hand side, which is in my case now A1. Depending on how you did your presentation, your first cell might be on another cell. It might be another cell, but mine is A1. So immediately you click the pivot table, this window here will open up. This window that opens up give you different options to select from. So select a table range. It's telling us to select a table range, but Excel have already automatically selected the table range. But assuming that this table range is wrong, how did I know that this is right? If you look at this around this region, you see dancing sand. This dancing sand covers my information, the data I have on my Excel sheet, right from the first cell A1 to the last cell F537, and that is what you see here under this window. A1, $A1, $A, $1 to $F, $537. Now it also gave you another option, either to present your pivot chart on this particular sheet, which is age receivable sheet, or to put it on a different tab, on a new sheet. So this is an existing sheet, and this is a new sheet. Most people prefer to put it on a new sheet. But if you have just few information on the sheet, you can still use existing sheet. But now we have a massive number of information on this sheet. 537 rows. So it's better to put it on a different sheet. So I'll just click OK. This OK will bring up this window. This window comes with a filter. The filter is on the right-hand side and this other part. But this filter will give you filters here, column, row, and value. I want to present my information in rows and value. That is why, first step, I said choose region. Now, if you click on region, we are just lucky that it went in here this time. Sometimes it might come up under filter. Let's assume it went under filter like this. You need to drag it and drop on the row the way you want it. Just drag and drop. Anywhere you drag and drop, if you're looking at the presentation, it doesn't look good presenting it in this way. So that's why I want it this way. Okay. Now I want it to be in rows. So my regions are now in rows. Immediately after that, next information I want to present is the value. Okay, let us look at week by week value. So if I pick the first one, let's say week 4, I drop it there. Sorry. Week 4, I drop it there. Week 3. Week 2. Week 1. Now this is the information in weeks. I am not even putting the total now because I want the total to be different. But if you want the total to also come in here, you can as well do it. You can pick the total and put it anywhere you want to put it. So for example, this is the total now. Whatever you want to do, you can do it your way. If you want to count the number of times they made sales, number of times, then it's simple. You right click. Like if I want this column, this total to represent the number of times they made sales, I can, okay, let's say in week 1, I'll just say summary, count. But that's not what I want to achieve here. I want the sum total of what they sold, the value. So I said to you that you can also change the formatting. Under the formatting, you can put the Naira sign or dollar sign, whatever you want. But in Nigeria, we use Naira. So what I need to do is highlight this area, right click, format, currency. Under the currency, I want it to be 0 decimal place. Then I locate Naira sign along here. Naira sign. See, Naira sign is here. Either of these represent Naira, so I pick the Edo this time. Naira. So this is how it will look like. You can leave this. Your management, this might be good for some people, but you see, someone like me, I like graphs. I like graphs. So that's when you now add, you need to add pivot charts. So if you ask me to make it nice and simple, you come here again, you put the cursor there, insert, pivot, I go to the total, I go to the region, I go to the total, simple. Then I format this area the way I want it done. Nice and easy. I need it Naira too. 0 decimal place. Naira. Naira, where are you? Good. Naira. Let's go to Kanuri. Down there. Okay. Now, I want to put the graph now. Graph is so easy. You just touch. There's a graph under analysis. See, under the analysis tab here, you have charts. You have charts. You even have recommended one. So if you want to look at recommended one, that's recommended pivot table. It still reminds us recommended pivot table. Sorry. Now this is the chart. You have different options to choose from. You can choose the bar, the column, line graph, pie chart, bar chart, area chart, scatter charts, stock, surface, radial, different category, histogram. So let us pick the bar this time. Let's pick the bar. Now, if you pick the bar, you then say OK. Now look closely. Look closely. You see that everything here is represented. All the regions, southwest, south, they're all represented. So I want to enlarge it. I want it to look big. Okay. I don't even need all these ones. I don't need them. Remove. I don't need this now. Just delete. I don't need this. Okay. Let us see. I need to make this more beautiful because I don't like this kind of graph. I don't like this color. So next thing I'll do is I will beautify this. Now, note that I touched this graph. I touched each of the pillar. I touched the pillar, and by the side of each of the pillars, you see some dots. What that means is I have already highlighted all the pillars. By doing this, I'm highlighting all the pillars. So I then right-click, format data series. Formatting data series gives us different. So I want the space between each of these graph to be small. So I go to the gap width. I reduce it. I want it to be each of the pillars to look thick. Okay. Then see the gap is reducing. I want it to really be very close to each other. Good. So this is good. Then I want to add some other beautification. I want see this is where I went to. I went to fill line. Okay. Then I want picture. I want picture. I want picture. I want some other. Let me see. No, I don't want to add. I can. Here you can pick images from outside to add. Pattern. I need one beautiful pattern. Okay, gradients. Let's see what gradients have. No. Fill. You can even pick things from online from there, but I don't want that. So let me pick one of these. I want this. No, this doesn't look too busy. So you can pick this. Let's see. No, I don't like that. So you can pick that. Still busy. The eyes. You see, good. This looks better for me. I don't know. But what I'm trying to show you here is that you have many options. So you can put the, like here, you can say, let me call this Nollyland. Nollyland Limited. Okay. Then when I say sales regional sales report for the month of June. I'm just saying 2020. Okay. So you can also come here and edit this. Regional sales report as of June 2020. Okay. Wow. So this is it. Now with this, you can even add more things. I think you can add. There are many more things here. Data. Let's see. Well, you can navigate, you can explore this area because there are many things you could do. Many things. Yeah. So many. You can even change the graph if you don't like the bar. You can take off the bar and replace it with pi. So, for example, you can say, chart, and change it to pi. You choose anyone you want. If I pick this now, like some will like, no, I don't. Let me not change it because it's not going to be looking good. Let me pick another variation. Let me see. Now, these ones that we've done already, we can undo what we've done by simply unchecking whatever cells filter that we don't want. Okay, so what I want to do now, I want to bring in another type of graph. So you see under analysis again. All I did was to put the cursor on at least the first row, the row A3 here, which represents the row header. And I go to the chart again and just say touch any. So let's pick pi this time. Okay, and we can even choose under the pi. Under the pi, you can even choose this the bold one. So this is what will appear. You can shift it, put it the way you want. So I'll put it this way. You can even hold it. If you touch it, if you touch the pi, touch it like this, and you can drag it to separate it. Like you see some financials, you see this kind of information. See, keeping it like this. If you think it will make your report look beautiful, why not? Whatever can beautify your report, you just go ahead and do that. So that option is also there. Simply just hold and drag to come the way you want it done. So this is this. So the colors now, the Excel have already given you colors. Okay, I have. Okay, so now I have some questions here. Please, I lost you from the addition of total. Okay, I think I've explained that. This one can't hear you again. Kayode Oluyemi. You should be able to hear me. Others are hearing me. So check your mic, please. Kayode, check. Kayode, please check your mic. Okay, Kayode, I think you were offline. Please, how do we know which region is representing? Okay, I got it. Okay, the person said, okay, got it. So now, I think all the major questions. Somebody is raising his hands. Let me see, who is that? I think, please don't just type your question, please. So at this point, I think it's question time. Question time. So if you have any question, feel free to ask now. If you raise your hand, I will mute you somehow. Go ahead. Because this should be easy, I guess. Okay, someone said I should treat the process of pie chart again. Okay, this is this even if this is what we are able to get today, and I'll be very, very, very happy. I also go to VLookup. Yes, I'll go to VLookup. That is one area which I would like to check immediately, because I don't want us to leave that undone. Okay. Now, only 33 people have filled the form, and I have in attendance about 42 people here. What that means is about 10 people or nine individuals have not 9 individuals have not completed the form. If you have not completed that form, it means that I might not be able to send you, but you can see it because we are going to put it again. Send it out. Yes, if you leave your email there, you'll get the video link, sure. But you can also be checking our page, our TV online YouTube TV platform. You come up. Yes, I will do that. So I think nobody's asking question on this except someone that said I should revisit the pie chart. So I'm going to the pie chart again. Once more pie chart, then we move forward. I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can. I've answered all the questions now. Okay, let me take off this pie chart again. Anybody, please, what's your question? No, I did not see your question, anybody. Just copy it and paste it again. That's a link to the form. That's a link to the form. That's a link to the form. It will give us. It will help us to get the list of attendants and their emails to send them mail for subsequent for the with the working file. I don't want to send it privately. I want to send it to everyone. Yes, thank you for sharing that form. Now, I think we are good to go now. But let me answer the question again with regards to the pie. Let me go to another tab. This is another tab. I want to repeat the pie, but remember, I'm telling you now that it's just a sample. Just a sample. We can do more than the pie. So if you go to analyze here, analyze tab, there's a pivot here, pivot chart option. You select that pivot chart under the tools group. You can pick any of the chart type. Any of the chart type. My son was giving. Any of the chart type. So we picked pie. We've already picked bar at one point. We picked bar at one point, and we picked bar at one point, and then that was that's my son. Can you pick? So let me see which other one can we pick now. We picked bar. Which one? Let's say some bust. Okay. No, it's not coming up. You can't create chart. Okay, so you can't create. So let's pick this again. And this time around, I'm picking this other one. Just click. As you click, it comes up. You don't need to stress yourself in any form. And if you want to delete, so the same thing. You touch this and you delete. It goes away. So I want to pick another. I don't want that. Let's pick column. And I pick this pillars. Now take a look at this. If you want to change this, you just touch the heading, because what you want to see, you want to make your graph to be easily understood by users. Okay. So now I want to call this regional sales. It's possible that you're preparing this from payroll perspective. You can, if you are trying to analyze staff salary, for instance, employee salary, you can categorize your staff, people within this band, people within that band, or their department salaries, and that's department payroll costs, whatever you want to call it. So if that's the objective, why not you change the name to whatever you want to be. Then now I want to put a picture here. I want this pillars to come with some, some beautiful pictures. So I'll touch it and make sure that there's this bubble around each of the pillars. Now, sometimes we click it, you'll notice that the bubble is only on one pillar. You know that it will not work. What we want to do now will not work. It will only work. It will only be administered on that pillar. But I want it to be administered on all the pillars. So that's why I chose this. Now, it's choosing this option because of the last example we did. So I want to change it to something. I want it to come with this fish, each of the pillars. Or look at this. If you come with this, it will look better. You see? So you can as well change even the background of this area. You can change the background if you want, depending on what you want. Fill, solid fill, gradient, colors, whatever you want. See? I just touch this part and change it. So for you to be able to put a color or create an effect on the graph, you must click the area of the graph that you want that effect to apply to. So, for example, I don't think I like this color, so I want something different. So even if you look down here at the base here, you can even mix your own color. You can mix your color and make it whatever you want to be. You need to be on top of your game in terms of color. if you see all these artists, people that have artistic eyes, they manage some of this information better. I'm only posting it because I want us to see that we have different variety of options to pick from. So you see, that's it. So whatever you want to achieve, fine, it's up to you with regards to pivot table and pivot chart. You know, this same information you are doing here, what we are learning right now on that pivot table is a shortcut to I'm trying to avoid somewhere we'll study, we have to do another presentation for graph. Now, the same thing you are doing here, the same thing you do under graph, simple graph. So a pivot table gives you a faster way to understand the same thing. Now, the information that you're going to get here, or that we are presenting here, today we are just doing 537 rows. In some cases, it might turn out to be in millions of rows. The same rule applies. All you need to do is just put the cursor where it should be. Make sure that you have the header rows, the header row there, and each of the header columns already has clearly defined name for them. Then your duty is just put the cursor at the first cell on the left-hand side, click the pivot chart, and under the insert option, you have the pivot table here. Then from pivot table, you can then go further and start getting out your pivot figures. I also mentioned to you that in the latest version of Excel, you have what they call recommended table. So assuming you are under pressure, extreme pressure, and you don't know what kind of table you want to extract, that's a pivot table recommendation. A recommended pivot table suggests to you. Why not? You put the cursor there, and you click the recommended one, and you see so many options. Yes, so many options. So if you choose any of the options, why not? It will come up. And
You're taking pictures and no, they're going to the car.
I think we are good to go at this point. I have muted everyone. So if you want to say anything, please just hands off and this question, I guess everybody should be in sync now with regards to this pivot table. No question. So we move forward we go back to the other one, which is VLookup. VLookup was where we were last week when the system did not allow us, the network was so poor. So you can close this file. I want to save this so that we can use it next week. Now, before I save that, you know that when you are sending your reports to the management or to your boss, you should label the tabs correctly. Make sure you label them like this one will be my working file, working sheets. This one could be whatever I call it. Whatever I call it will be. Could be total regional sales. This one could be week by week or weekly regional sales. This could be this is the same thing as the other. So this could be pie chart week 1, pie week 1 sales. Whatever you do, remember to put the headings and all those other things that will make your report look beautiful. then you send it. If you feel that you want to take off the grid lines, why not? You come to view. The grid lines are these small lines you find there. So I said, you go to view. Under view, this is grid line here. Take it off. To take it off, it will make your sheet to appear like a Microsoft Word document. You can as well print it if you want to. If you want to print, so it's up to you what you want to do with your report. So that is for that. So saving and close. Let me go to the first one, which is week 1. Working sheet 1. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Let's stop. No. Okay. We should do this one. Perfect. Okay. This was the working file we used for. I don't know if you can see this file. Please say yes in the chat window.
Yes, we can see it.
Perfect. So now this working file is what we used for the VLookup. So many people were knocked off when we were due to poor network connection. So we need to explain this again. VLookup is another powerful tool used in Excel to pull out or to spool information from a huge set of data. Yeah, I can get it. So now, but there are some basic rules that must be applied before it can work. It can work effectively. Now, what you need to do first, you need to identify your pivotal column. Your pivotal column is that column that contains unique identifiers, unique codes, unique surname, unique ID. So, like last time I told you, it could be that unique ID could be your surname, it could be your staff ID number, it could be your BVN number, it could be your NUBAN number, that number that is unique to you. It could be your national ID number. It could be your driver's license number. That number that is unique to you. So assuming you work in driver's licensing office, that driver's license number is one number that is unique to every driver out there that has driver's license. If you are working in HR department, the staff ID is that unique code that is unique to each staff. In a company, you might have 2 Kayodes, 4 Nnamdi, 5 Ngozi, 6 Mohammed, 7 Atiku, but the staff ID, the NUBAN number will be different. The national ID card number will be different. So you need to first identify that code for every of the data you want to analyze. So let's assume you go into a bank, let's say GT Bank, and you want to analyze customers' account details. Now, what you need to do is look for the bank account number, the NUBAN account number, which will be unique to that customer. You will not be looking for the surname, because in the same bank, you might have several Nnamdi, several Babatunde, several, so look for that. So once you've gotten that, make sure that information is displayed on the left hand of that's the column at the extreme left. The reason is this: if you display that information on the extreme right, everything on the left hand side of that information will not be considered when you are doing your VLookup. Now, if you put that information in the middle of your data, it means that every information to the left of that column will be ignored. So that's why you see here, my pivotal column now is this column C. Or no, my pivotal column now is column A. Now, the number here, this number is unique. So, for example, Rotimi of accounts, there's Babatunde Adebayo of accounts also. There's Adebayo of sales department. There's Kayode of accounts. There's Kayode of sales. But they all have different staff number. Let's call this staff ID number. Okay. So even though, some people might say, but no two people will have the same surname and other name. It's not true. I have seen somebody that is bearing my name, Nnamdi UTI. Yes, even though that name Nnamdi UTI is not common, but somebody is already on earth now, alive, although younger than me, bearing the same Nnamdi UTI. Okay, so there's another case where you have some people use initials. So now, what we want to do, this information that you have here, we're only having 12. However, this information might run into thousands, millions of information. Like if you look at bank account, new bank account details, we run into millions. So to make life easy for us, we want to define what our reporting format will look like. Our reporting format, last case, we want to display a payslip. A payslip that comes in this form. A payslip that will show how the management want to see our report, or the users of the report want to see our report. For example, if you are the payroll manager of this company that has this payroll sheet, now the various staff will be coming to you. Please, I need my payslip. Please, I need my payslip. If they come to you requesting for payslip, you don't need to start going into the database manually writing it or punching those, linking the sheets. No, you need to create a separate sheet called payslip, and the payslip will pop up with each individual's information as you put his staff ID, which is that unique identifier in a particular field. So in this case now, this is our sheet. So I want that serial number, the staff serial number, to be here, 1. That is this cell M2, cell M2. This is where I'll put the staff number, and all this information will appear. Now, but for it to happen, it means that everybody, we need to create a query that will link this code, this cell M2, to this database. So for that to happen, we need to start by naming this region. That's to make it easy, but that's not the only way. This is the best way. To name this area, I told you that just the way in our country, where a lady gets married and change their name, Excel regions can also change their name. Even the cell within Excel can change. You can change the name. So for you to change the name, use the name window. The name window is this is the name window or name box here, or you use the formula. There's under the formula tab. There's name, define name here. Define name. So I'm going to use this define name, and I also use this box so that we get it clear. So whatever I call this area that I've highlighted is what is going to be answering moving forward. So I want to call it, you see, Excel is already suggesting, call it SN, serial number. It's copying it from this first one. But I don't want to call it SN. I want to call it NG. NG. I will say, okay, now, if you look closely here, it's already telling you the range. The range is from this cell $2 to $14, which is the extreme cell you have here at the extreme right. So that range is where the information will be picked from. Another thing you need to notice, where is it going to apply? The scope. The scope, this name that you're naming, this cell that you're naming, is defined, is going to be accepted in the entire workbook. But if you don't want it to come in the entire workbook, you want it to only be administered on this sheet, you define it by picking this drop down icon here, and you select the sheets. So I want it to be administered on the entire workbook. So I'm choosing OK. Remember that the name is NG. NG. So then I'll go back here to my slip. The information I want here should be the name of the person. Now this name could be name, other name, surname, and other names. That I will show you later. But let's make it very simple so that it will be easy for everyone to understand. Now, this first step is equal to V look up. Look closely, you see that Excel is already suggesting look up this, what you have in cell M2, in where? In NG, in the region known as NG, and return what? See, you look closely, say lookup value. So our lookup value is what you have in M2. In table array is the area, the range which is NG. What do you want it to do? You want it to return what you have in column 2. Column 2 is I think is the name. If not, false. False. False means you want to be precise. So this is column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. So name Rotimi is on column 2. Now, if you go back here again, Ajayi Oluwatobi, is like your connection is weak. Next time, try to get this. Know the network that is okay in your area. So this name here is in column 2. So the next item is the department. So department is on what column? Column 3. This is column 3 here. I named it like that, but at your end, you don't need to name it. All you need to do is count it. You can put the name into just at the point of design, but after design, delete. After design, you delete these numbers. You don't need them. Then, I'm saying that also, after doing this, we can copy and paste, but the result will be wrong because it is not flowing. So the best bet is either for you to do it manually one by one, or you understand why the copy and paste option is not working with this, and then know what to do to the first cell. The essence of using Excel is to make life easy for everybody, not to suffer yourself again. So what I will do now is I am going to make, you see, when you look at, I will look at what's changed between the two cells. That is name cell and the department cell. So looking at this, you see M2, NG, 2 and 4. The next one is M3, NG, 2 and 4. So I need to make sure that M2, which is this, remains static in all my formulas. So for it to remain static, I need to change this M3 to M2. And I need to put the $sign in front because I want it to remain static. I also want this to be 3. Just 1 second. You know, because department is in row and column 3. That's why this second, the code here should be 3. This one should be 3. Now, if you pick this formula and paste in the next one, it will display account. You paste it to the end, it will be account. Now, but because I know that basic is under column 4, under column 4, housing is the next one, transport is the next one. All I'll need to do this time is to change that number here to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See? After doing that, I will then use this comma separator to separate it. Now, the next thing is to put the summary. Sorry. Of the total. So that's the total. Now, looking at this closely, all you need to do, if Mr. Kayode of accounts, this Kayode of account that has staff number 10 comes, you want to see his payslip, you change this to 10. You can see it pops up Kayode accounts, basic, housing, transport. So all you need to do is ask him, my friend, what's your staff ID number? Or your staff, that unique identifier, that's what you need from him. Once you put it there, all this other information will come up. Then you can print out this and give to him. Now, remember that in the payroll setting, other things like other information will come at the base here. You can also do that. If you do the same, it will obey the rule. All those deductions, then at the end you have a net something there, net salary there, and you print it. Now, remember too also that the payslip normally has the name of the company there. Then, if you also want the bank account detail, like his account number, to appear, you can also include it on the columns, on one of the columns here. Include column for bank account number, email address, whatever you want, phone number. You want to be sending them alerts, SMS. Because you can evolve to such a situation where after, as you are paying your staff salary, you can send them SMS of the net amount paid into the account. Kindly confirm that the sum of XYZ has been paid into your Zenith bank account. So you can put that in the column here and then send it to them by email, whatever form. Now remember that this method you can use it to save your company stationaries. You don't need to print payslip, just send to them by email. Now I was explaining to us last time that this information you can cut here, Control X, cut, and move it to a new tab here, and paste it. Now, if you paste it, it will still respect the rules. Now you did it for easy understanding. That's why you did it that way. So now we have it nice and clean the way you want it. You can format it the way you want, and give it all the names that you want, all the from easy formatting things that will make it nice. So at this point, I think we should have concluded everything about pivot table, VLookup. But there's something I still want. Same thing you did before, the charting. You can also come here. You want to do the chart, you can do the same chart using the pivot thing. If you think it will help you understand pivot table better, you can start there. You see, it's recognizing from the top here, but I don't want it to start from there. I don't want the dancing sand to start from the top there. So I want it to start from here. So I'll touch this and drag it this way. See, it has now recognized the range. After recognizing the range, it talks about where I want the report to appear. This is it. I want it to appear here. I'll then say OK. See, same thing. The name, you want the names of the individuals, but that name is not too good. Use serial number. Okay, serial number, you come here. If you want the basic, that'll be value. Yes, it's already there. Sorry. It's already there. You call, what else do you need? Housing. You need so all these informations are very easy. You can even say you don't want the serial number, you want the department. So department. So you see the department. So simple. Just click and click. And if you want somebody is asking questions, let me see. What is it? How did I copy? Okay, I need the formula or logic sequence typed out. Okay, the logic. Please, I lost you from where it was showing ending. Okay, I need the formula or logic sequence typed out. Please, how? These are the questions. So I'm reading out the question. Is how did you copy it without losing the? I cut. I did not copy. I cut. My childhood classmates, Ibiba Batubo, welcome on board. I need the formula of logic. Okay, how did you bring the unique number to payslip? That if you put the unique number and payslip, VLookup is only useful in payroll department. No, see, VLookup is not only useful in payroll department. Okay, I will quickly go back again and let me start this afresh. Now, those of you asking if it's only useful in payroll department, I guess you might have joined late. Okay, because for each of the topics we'll be discussing how it is used, when it is used, so that it will be easy for you to apply it in several scenarios. Now, for those of you who will go for audit in a bank, for those of you that will go for audit in let's say different field where you need to analyze huge amount of data, both VLookup and pivot table will come in very handy, very handy. Now, for you to use pivot table, you must first identify the unique identifier. What is that unique thing that differentiates one of the data that you want to analyze from the other? For example, if you go to the bank, if you go to the bank to analyze the bank, what differentiates my own bank account from yours is my NUBAN number, or my BVN number. Now, if you go to National Identity Card Management System Office, what differentiates me from you is our national ID number. If you go to Immigration Service where they process national ID card, what differentiates me from my own travel passport from yours is the passport ID number. If you go to where they process driver's license, what differentiates my own driver's license from your own driver's license is the how do you call it now? The national driver's license number. So all these places where you have huge amount of data, in fact, just look at it in Nigeria, they pull out the national driver's license of every Nigerian and give it to you to analyze. To analyze them in order of their states, their local government, the local government of issue, the state origin, and whatever. You have all this information scattered on a spreadsheet, a massive spreadsheet. Using pivot table and using VLookup, you can throw these numbers, analyze it depending on what questions was thrown at you. So we are using in today's session. We are just using few data to analyze, to show you how you should analyze it. So if you're looking at this spreadsheet now, we've already discussed pivot table. Now we are discussing VLookup. Now on this spreadsheet you are having here, we are assuming that this is a payroll company payroll information, and this company payroll data is represented by columns and rows. On the first column here, I told you that before you use the pivot, the VLookup function, you must make sure that that pivotal column, which is that column that contains the unique identifier, must be at the extreme left of the containing, that's the extreme left of the spreadsheet containing the entire data. So if you move this pivotal column, for example, to the extreme right, it means that your VLookup function will ignore all the information on the extreme left, on the left side of that pivotal column. If you move it also to the middle here, which by moving it means just cut and insert. You put it here, it will ignore every information you have on this right-hand side, on the left-hand side, So the only information you have on the right-hand side will be recognized. So I just undo. Now, since we've known that, and our unique identifier here is the serial number, we not pick the name because in the name you have Adebayo here, you have Adebayo there, you have Kayode here, and you have, I think you have Kayode somewhere there, another Kayode. If you pick this column as the unique identifier or the unique column, anytime you do the VLookup function, it will only recognize the first one. It will ignore the second name. So for example, here you have Adebayo. So if this was where you were targeting as your control column or unique identifier, and you apply VLookup function, it means that this Adebayo here, his information will display instead of this other one, even though instead of this other one, even though you know that you are looking for the information of this Adebayo that's in sales department. So the only thing that differentiates this Adebayo from the other here is the department and the serial number. But the serial number is unique to Adebayo. So I want to look for information as regards this Adebayo. I will only simply ask him, Adebayo, please, what is your staff ID number? He'll tell me his staff ID number is number 4. Then I'll put in the report sheet, and automatically his information will come spool out. So now it's very easy to design that. What I did simply again is I picked this information here at the top. I copy, Control C is copy. Then I come to this cell here and I say special paste here. Special paste goes further. I want to speak value and transpose. Transpose means I don't want it to come in this horizontal format. I want it to come vertically. So it will come vertically like that. So you see, it's now vertical. Now, the next thing is I want to have this cell represents the control. This is my control. Whenever I change the staff ID number, all this information should come up. That is what I want. That's my objective. So for me to do that, I'll then name this region. I named this region earlier today. I called it NG. So I said that you can call it, you can name it from this cell, from this, there are two ways. You can name it from this name box or from this formula. So if I want to use the formula, all I need to do is highlight the region I want to name. Naming is just like changing someone's surname, someone's other name. So here we want to change the name of this region from A2 to, from the region A2 to I14. I want to change it to a name, one name. You can call it BB or BC, whatever I want to call it. So I either type it here, HH, for example, HH, and I hit enter. It means that anytime I come to this name box, I put full of HH, this area will be highlighted. Or I highlight this area again. Then I go to this formula, define name. I call it whatever I want to. But this is a better way because it gives you more options to modify the name. So for example, I call this name, I want to call it JK this time. Now this JK, do I want the question? The next thing is scope. This scope means where do I want this name to apply to? Do I want it to apply only on the entire workbook or sheet 1 or sheet 2, whatever sheets? These are the sheets, so these sheets here. So you can choose any. So I want it to apply to the entire workbook. Now here also is telling you the region known as JK. This JK covers from A2, $A2, no, $2 to $I14. Once I say OK, it accepts it as that. Now, it means that if I'm coming here to link this region, this slip here to these cells, to this spreadsheet or the region called JK, I want to format it in a way that make it more. Okay. Now, so this is the control. So control is, I want to use one example. What this means is I'm trying to start with formatting using the first person as a sample. Can even use number 10 if you would like, but just for easy reference. So since we have already named this region JK, we already named the region JK. the new yes, you can try it. I think it should. Someone is asking if the name box accepts more than two alphabet. Yes, of course, it does. It does. So, but you can try it yourself. It does. You can call it payroll if you want. You can call that region payroll. Of course, you can do that. But so to name, the rule is simple. Highlight the area you want to name, and then name it. Highlight it and name. First step is to highlight like this. This is highlight. You can even use your mouse to drag around the area you want to highlight. Call it whatever. So some people prefer to call it payroll, for example. We call this area payroll because that's what we are doing. Payroll. Like this. So see, this is payroll. Calls it payroll. It will recognize it. So what I'm trying to say is we want to make sure that this cell here controls everything that you spool out. So for you to control, you must link this region to this, to the name that you've done. So that name, what will help you is VLookup. Now, VLookup, the opposite of VLookup is HLookup. VLookup means vertical lookup. Horizontal lookup is HLookup. Vertical is standing tall like a man standing, while vertical is standing like a man, while horizontal is lying on the floor, like lying on your belly, like crocodiles do. VLookup. Now, once you use the VLookup option, you see that under it, someone was talking about the link, the referencing. This is what you're looking for. VLookup value. The value here is what you have in cell L2, which is what is displayed here. Then where are you looking at? You are looking for it in JK or payroll or whatever name you call this region. And what do you want to return? You want to return what you have in the first or second column. Second column is where we have name. Then the next item is false. See, look closely. When I want to type false, it's saying exact match, approximate match. When you have something close to, sometimes you might not have the exact thing, or you want something close to that information to appear, and use the approximate match, which is true. Instead of typing false, it says true, but I want the exact match. That's why I'm choosing false. And say enter. So now the next item is the name. You know, I told you that if you copy this formula, because the essence of Excel, using Excel, there are two ways to do the same thing. I can come this way and say VLookup this again in JK, return 3 else 4. The answer would be correct. So we can do this one by one to the end. But I'm saying that that is also very correct. Okay, if that is the easiest way for you to do, just go ahead and do. But my style is for me to, I'll finish one and get that one cell formula right. Then after that, I copy the same formula and paste in all, and I want it to be correct. So for me to do that and get it right, I must understand how the formula is written. So for me to understand it, I need to take a look at the two formulas and see why it is different or what is different. For example, that's after doing the first one. So I copy and paste, then I then look at the two. Why are they different? Or what is different? Why is it coming with not applicable? NA. Now, for it to come with, for me to understand it properly, looking closely, I notice that L2, JK, 2 and false. Then I come here, I see L3, JK, 2 and false. Means that L2 changed to L3. What it means that L2 need to be constant. It should not change. Also, if I correct that, if I correct this to L2, I notice that the answer is Rotimi. Rotimi still is remains Rotimi because it still recognizes the second column instead of the third column. The third column is where you have departments. What I mean is this. This is column number 1, column number 2, column number 3. That's where you have departments. So I need to change this to 3 for it to be correct. Can you see? So it's not correct. Now, but because I want to copy this down to the end for it to be easy, I need to make this L2 static. So for me to do that, I start from the first one and make it static by putting $sign in front. A shortcut to put the $sign is F4. So you shift F4. No, not shift F4. This you hold down the key, the one that point up, pointing up. So F4. When the cursor is blinking, F4 there, yes, that's the F4 key. So the F4 key will give us the $signs in front. So now, if you copy this down, all you need to do is to change the column number. So I'm going to change this column number to 4. Change this column number to 5. Change the column number in the formula to 6. Change the column number to 7. Change the column number to 8. Change the column number to 9. Then I would like to know the total. Total SUM so I guess at this point we should have done everything on VLookup. So let's look at HLookup. Now somebody was asking how I move this to the next sheet without losing it. So what I need to do is highlight this area, cut, Control X, Control I mean the control keys is written as sorry, I lost that file. Okay, let's go with this because it's still the same. Now, if you highlight this area, control is written on your keyboard as CTRL. That's how it's written. So you hit that key. That you need to highlight it first. Highlight this region, then Control X. Control plus X this way. That's what you use to move it. Another way is to right click and cut. Go to it and paste it. Paste it where you want it to be. Paste it where you want it to be. Format it the way you want, and that's how it's done.
Your screen is not showing, son.
Okay, you're asking me.
The screen is not showing.
It's showing now.
And you can see now, okay, I'm saying that this is control plus X. Will after highlighting, if you hit the control X key, it will move, it will allow you to move this information to wherever. Another alternative is for you to right click and cut. Use this cut option here. Cut, then you go to cell, new sheet and paste it. Control V, or right click and paste. This will come up. So you have those options available for you to. Then at this stage, I think we can talk about HLookup. Do we still have any question here now? I guess everybody should be home and dry. Now, HLookup compared to VLookup. The only difference is that it comes with H. That H is horizontal. Somebody's trying to ask a question. You are raising your hand. Do you have a question? So now, please put the question on the chat window so that you can see your question. Now on the HLookup is known as horizontal lookup. Horizontal lookup. Under the VLookup option, you know, we said that the pivotal column should be on the right-hand side, on the left-hand side. And that is the control. That column that has the unique identifier. The horizontal lookup, you know, starts from this way down, up, down. So what it means is that in this case, this will be the pivotal column, pivotal row. You should have something from this point down. For example, if I'm going to look up this value, I'll say, let's do the practical so we see. This area was known as JK. Okay, so I want to get information from this. So I'm going to use this header as the identifier, or I can pick this information here. This information, copy it, go to a new sheet, special paste, values, transpose. I want to look a bit nice. I take off all the decimal places. So I still want this area, let this one remain the unique identifier, which is staff ID number. Okay, so I want it to be this way. Then let me name this region. I name this region, let me call it XX for simplicity's sake. I put everything in the middle. We're already doing the same thing using, see, if you did not follow the VLookup, follow this religiously so that you get it clear. Now, in this case, we want to name this, we name this area XX, right? XX. So this is the region known as XX. If you come to the formula bar again, name manager, under name manager, you can see the region known as XX. If you touch this, see the region known as XX. You can even edit it using this window. edits it. You put whatever you want. You can also edit this but since you've named it, will not accept. Okay. So let's go this way. I am going to look at VLookup, HLookup, HLookup, bracket open, this in XX, return 2.
Sir, sorry, I can't hear you. It's not audible from my end.
Okay. It's from me. I'm just changing my mic option again.
Sir, please, I hope I can get some material. I can only see you. I can't hear you at all, please.
Sorry, please one second. Yes, so we will be sharing. We'll be sharing it immediately after this because I noticed if I leave it a day further, it will not be a lot of things happening almost the same time for me. So I just need to, for me to catch up, we need to be doing it together. Now, if you look at the window here, yes, you're right. You're right. I press HLookup instead of VLookup. There is a link I shared sometime back. That link contains the link to the form, the attendance sheet. So those of you that have not completed the attendance sheet, just complete the attendance sheet so that I will have your email where I can send this working file that we are working with. So we can use it with that email. You can try with what we send to you. You can try it yourself. Even without that, I believe that if you start trying this out in your various places. So this HLookup here should change. VLookup should change to HLookup. Okay. VLookup what? 2. Can you see? I put 1 here. If you change this to 3, tire. This is 3, tire. 2, Chinedu. Change this to 4 or 5. So can me. Now, it's because we have called this area XX, and we are saying that we wanted to use the HLookup function. Whatever is on this cell, which is the control cell now. Once this is the control cell, it's pulling out the information where we want it. So when we say, who has the staff ID number 9? Olubenga will come on. Likewise, if we want to do other information that will scroll down the rest, like the payroll, the base salary, and the rest, they will also come up too. Do we understand this? Somebody's still trying to answer this. That's the link. That's the link I'm just sharing now. The link is just above your chat. This is the link. Just touch the link, touch it, and Opera for Kenneth. That's the link, please. So I believe that with this now, everybody should be home and dry when it comes to VLookup, HLookup. Now, there's in the 2020 version of Excel, there's another one called XLookup. XLookup. Once I get the Excel, Yes, for those of you who could not attend, we want to we have a TV station now, online TV known as Page TV, Page Television is on YouTube. Okay, we will be sharing these videos there. So when you get there, subscribe so that you subscribe so that subsequent videos you'll get a pop-up at your end too. And feel free to share these videos, the videos there with any other person that wants to learn. We are doing this for educational purpose. We want everyone to be sound when it comes to Excel. Excel should not be a problem for all of us. Now, those of you who desire, if you desire to have any other specific area of training on Excel, specific area, you can just send us let us have the notes too. Send us a mail. Send it a mail to pageplatform@gmail.com. List them out. We'll talk about every one of them. Not only Excel, any other field. We want to be talking about knowledge. We want knowledge to go round. If knowledge goes round to everyone, we will find life easy in our place of work. And if life is easy for you, easy for the next person, we'll be discussing at a different frequency, not on the mundane things. There are so many things that we should not be talking at this level, but we'll be struggling because most of us are still. Ojo say he can't see my screen. I don't know if it's only peculiar to you, but bear in mind that you can get this video on tomorrow. I believe by tomorrow it should be up live on if not this night, on Page Television. Okay. Then the next item I want us to look at is, which is going to be very brief because of the little time left. Yes, sacrifice and sharing is key. But you know that most people who are sacrificial in nature get a lot of sacrifice rewards from different ways. So now, one thing before we go, I want us to look at this quickly, and that is table. You see, in layman language, this is a table. But after today, I don't want, if you've not attended a class in the past, after today, don't call this table again. This is not table. In Excel language, this is not table. There's a key, there's a tool known as table. Now go to the Insert tab. You see table here. Table is a very powerful tool in Excel. It's underutilized, largely unknown, underutilized. So let's assume we add another person at the base here called Simon. And he's working in HR department. HR. And they gave him a base salary of 50,000 and the rest. Okay, these are all his salaries. Now, this information naturally will affect so many things. It will affect the company's payroll cost. It will affect the basic salary analysis, which could also represent the basis from which they are calculating their Please, some of us are still having challenges. So I need to pause a little. Now, let me go back to the former sheet where we had as this. Okay. Somebody saying that they did not know how I got this formula here. So I want to repeat this so that they can get it clearly. Olubenga let me clear everything here. Clear content. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to have the name, okay, pop up. So call this name. This is the name, and this should be the control. So if let's say this is the control, serial number, name. What else do we need? We need the okay. Let me pick all this information here. Pick this information and put them here because I want everyone to get it clearly. Okay, the control now. So we then say equals to HLookup. HLookup. That's what we need to use. So, but because we want to start with this as a control, we will then go to the next cell and say name HLookup this control. We are saying it should look up this in what? In XX and return what? 2, else false. What's XX? XX is what? Oh, shit. If you get the spelling wrong, it will not. Like my spelling was wrong. My spelling was wrong. It should be HLookup, like this. So now, after getting this, so this is looking up this and returning what you have column row 2. So the next item I need.
No, Mr. Unti, my screen is disabled.
You said? Your screen. Okay, your screen is disabled. Why? Why is it only peculiar to you?
Please help me restore my screen.
Okay.
I can't see, I can't hear what you are doing. Not at all.
Okay. Who else is? I guess something is wrong there. Let me see. Let me get to the settings. Can you see now? Ojo, can you see now? Ojo? It's blurred now. Okay. Okay. Share comparison. Is it better now? Ojo, can you see it now? Network has been stable though. Trying to, okay, let me see. Video screen sharing disable.
Okay, talking about door.
Is it clear now? I have done some changes here. I need to get confirmation from Ojo before. Please, if you can see my screen, let me know.
I see the screen.
I can see your screen.
Yeah, what about Ojo? Ojo, I think you need to do something at the end. Halimat can see me.
Your screen is very clear here.
Perfect. So I think it's from his side. Ojo, please check your end. Please. Okay, good. So now, so what I wanted to do is to fill out this area. To fill out this area such that this control here will pop. Once I change it, all this information will pop up using the HLookup function. So, and I said to you that HLookup is the same as good. HLookup is an inverse. It's an opposite of VLookup. So just that you are going to be looking at things horizontally now, no longer vertically. And horizontal means lying on the belly, on the belly, like crocodiles go horizontally. All the reptiles go horizontally, while man walk vertically. So the next one is HLookup. HLookup. This in XX return value 3, else false. And I told you that false is because I want it to be exact. And if I want average, if I want something close to, I can use true, but I'm not using true. I want exact. So that's why this is account. Now, I told you also that when you get to this point, you can do copy and paste. But for you to do copy and paste, you need to know what needs to be static. So when looking at these two, I know that I need to make this cell here static in my formula. So I need to make this E14 static by putting $ in front. $ is on top of 4. 4, that's if you use the arrow key up, 4, or F4. Same thing as the F4 is a shortcut to $. So I use the F4 to get the $ assigned to both the alphabet and the number. Now, enter. So at this point, I can copy and paste. When I copy and paste, I need to then change the column number. The column number can be, the column number is already in there. 3. So this is 2, and the next one, look at it, this is 2 here. And if you go to the next cell, this is 3. That 3, change it to 4. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you see? So the result will always be correct. Now, you might have thousands of information to analyze. You have thousands of staff that want to come to you to get their payslip. You don't need to bother yourself. Once you have a slip, you can actually decide to send it to them by email. And if I'm in your shoes and I want to do that, simple. My master sheet needs to include email, column for email. And if you want to send to them by SMS also, you can also include another column for their mobile number. Then you spool the information from there to the portal where you want to send the SMS or email to, and then you send them in bits or in batches, depending on how you want to send them. But be careful so that you don't send everybody's payslip to one person. Otherwise, you have to face the music. So I think I should have explained that clearly before. So, but one thing I want us to conclude today is this table. I just showed you this, and I said that a few minutes ago. I said if you add Simon to this list, and Simon, this is a payroll sheet that affects so many other reports. For example, the man computing your pension will be talking about basic housing and transport, something of that nature. While the man calculating your gratuity, something of that nature might be depending. His figures might be dependent on only basic salary or something, or a combination of all. Now, because those other reports depend on this particular spreadsheet, which is maybe your payroll department, you need to make sure that you use table. If you use table function, which is what you find under this insert tab, use the table function. You find out that as you are updating this sheet, all other sub reports will be updated. But there are some basic rules that need to apply. Now, let's assume that this is what you've been using from inception. You don't need to delete everything. All you need to do is highlight this region. Then you click the table tab, this table icon. Click it. Now, you notice that as you click it, there's this dancing sand currently around the area. This dancing sand is known as to capture this area and define this area as table. And before you do this, make sure that all your columns have headers. And you click OK. Notice that it comes with filters, but it has automatically electrified this region and called it table, such that if you add a new record at the base, let's say 14, Mr. 14 is Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Johnson is a staff of a new department called Special Products, or special, okay, let's say training, and his salary is 48,000, his basic salary. Then you add another staff again, 15. His name is Buhari. He is a salesman, okay, and his salary is, let's say, 52,000. You note that this color, note the pattern: blue, white, blue, white, blue, white. Now, what it's telling you that everything here, this new two rows that you just added, is already captured within the region called table. And if you come here you see the table 1, under the name tab. This is the region called table 1. As you continue to add records at the base or near to it, just the next column or row near to this table, the region called table is going to expand. So let us do some little calculation so that you'll see the implication of what we've done or what we are doing. So let's go total basic. Total basic total housing, total transport, total meals. Okay. Now, this information should be coming from a summation of sum of this. Likewise, sum of housing, sum of transport, sum of meals. Of course, you do your comma separator to make it look nice. And remove the decimal, the dots. Okay. Somebody's trying to ask question. Let me see. No. Ojo, I think there's something at your end now. Now, these are the informations. Okay. Now, if you, like I said, if you continue to add information at the base, add record, not only at the base, though, even at the side here. Okay, note that the total staff cost is now staff cost. Staff cost is now 1.9. Okay, now we then add, let's employ somebody now. Let's employ someone, number 16. This person should be Aisha. Okay, Aisha is HR staff too, and she's earning 30,000. See, notice that the staff cost total have changed, the basic change, and the rest. Add the 17th person. Call him Abraham. Abraham is an engineer. They want to be COVID-19 compliant, so they employed an engineer. Engineer is now earning 50,000. You notice that all this information changed too, because the table will continue to recognize the new addition. You don't need to go back and start calculating and changing the formulas. No, this information here is dependent on this table. Now, if you did not use the table option, we would have come back again to adjust our formula such that it will capture the new information. So Excel is saying that is an old style. Don't go that old style. Use the table tool inside Excel to bring the new information into the region. Now, look at, if I go to this J, I call this, you now have total average, let's say mean. See, I added mean. I added the, let me add another one called Gene, just like that. So long as the next record I'm adding or the next row or column is close to the last column or row, table will bring it into the definition of table. So if you touch this now, I call this table, you see that it's already recognizing these new columns and rows as table, part of the table. And whatever information you put here will be reflected also in the other reports that depend heavily on this table or this region called table. Yes, someone is asking that you notice that when I put in this basic salary, other things come up. Apart from the fact that I actually put some formulas here that define housing allowance to be 120% of basic salary and transport allowance as 80% of basic salary, meal as 50% of basic salary. Because I did that in the former one, the new row added will take that same formula. And I want to tell you something. I started by highlighting this region from there to there, to this point before I click on the table. Now, if you are in a new sheet, let's say you want to start something afresh. And you pick, let's say you pick this. You pick this information, and you go here, you want to start afresh, transpose, special things, transpose, value, transpose. Now, this is transpose, so I have this information. Now, to start, I cannot, because I already have this region clearly spelled, the names are already there. So all I need to do is to come here. I want to start a new table, fresh table. Let's assume they gave this to an accounts clerk, a clerk in the HR, and say you should start putting in new records. This is what he will do. He should do. Click on the table and say, okay. So this area is now known as table. Sorry, undo. Sorry, I skipped one step. I need to show you. So now, my table. Look at this. This dancing sand. My table. Where is the table? This is the table. My table has header row. So if it has header row, you click. This is where we skip. So header row. Now, this is the table. So this is the header row. And as you continue to put information here, whatever you put here to recognize it. So this is how you continue putting your data, call this 2, call this 3, you see, 4, 5. That is how it should be done. This is a professional way of doing it on Excel, managing tables. So you can come up there and come up here, define your A, call this KGHPLC, sales report, whatever, do whatever. But this is the table. So this table continues. Any information that depends on this table will automatically capture whatever information you put there. So I think at this point we can entertain some questions, and then we call it a day. Then please let me pick that form again. If you know you've not filled this form, please fill it quickly so that I can quickly send you this file as soon as we end this chat. I'll send you this file and the ones that we've done before. Any question? No question. That means it was well taken.